Oh, good morning. It's early here on my Snowman Cup. It's quite relevant today here on Vancouver Island. It's snowing outside, which is an unusual thing for us here. And I thought get started. Here we are on the February the 2nd. Let me mute myself over here so I don't have to listen to myself. Okay. Well, what have we got to talk about today? Well, let's see. It's Ukulele Day. So at GoCybernaut.com, we've got plenty to learn about Ukulele Day. The links are down below, of course, to just about everything I'll talk about. And on Ukulele Day at GoCybernaut.com, let's see. The web resources include National Ukulele Day. National Ukulele Day takes place on February 2nd, when ukulele players from around the country will strum their favorite tunes to celebrate. And we've got, let's see what we've got on the web. We've got 7 reasons you should play the ukulele, Ukulele in the Classroom, Ukulele Magazine, and Wikipedia. Learn about the ukulele from the Internet Encyclopedia. Oh, we've got a video here, and it's the Ukulele Orchestra, I guess Great Britain, playing the theme song to Shaft. There you go. I always add in some hand-picked books from Amazon, and we've got the Beginner Ukulele Lessons for Kids book with online video and audio access. The first 50 songs you should play on a ukulele. Classic Rock Ukulele Songbook, and the Ukulele, a History. Oh, we've got another video here, Ukulele Lesson 1. Are you an absolute beginner? Start here. And I'm sure he's probably got a playlist of ukulele resources for you to learn from if you're starting out. As with all of our resources, we go on to look at what else we can celebrate that may be related within our GoCybernaut.com celebration website. And we've got Creativity Month, Lay Day, and Lay Day being the flower lei from Hawaii, as that's where the ukulele is from, I do believe. National Country Music Day, One Hit Wonder Day, International Music Day, and a link to my shopping mall that I'm currently renovating. I have an online shopping mall with maybe a few hundred stores to shop from. Another video here from Taimani Gardner, the ukulele virtuoso, which will blow your mind. And that's all there is for Ukulele Day. I do put 1 or 2 ads on each of my resources. They're handpicked. There's no ad servers, cookies, trying to trick you into buying things you don't need. Just handpick things from me. And for the Ukulele Day, I picked Windy City Novelties, party supplies, where probably you can pick up some ukuleles maybe for your party. Let's take a look. Do they have ukuleles? Just wondering. Windy City Novelties. I think they're in Chicago. Let's do a search for ukulele. I mean, there's lots of other things. If you're planning a theme party that you'll find here. But do they have ukulele? I guess that's the. I know they have kazoos. It's a sorry they don't have any ukuleles. But do they have the kazoo? It was Kazoo Day the other day, so maybe that's, we can, they do. They have party kazoos. There you go. If you're a ukulele player and you need a little band behind you, you can get 12 pack of party kazoos for $4.55 American. I think that's quite the deal. And that's all we got for you for Ukulele Day. Let's see. It's not just Ukulele Day today. It's also the beginning of National JELLO Week. I've been waiting for this day. Why have I been waiting for this day? I've had this book. This book's from probably the 1990s, maybe even the 1970s. When can you celebrate JELLO? And I'm telling you, when I was growing up in the 1970s, they had some pretty strange combinations. And I'm sure they're all in this book. Perhaps think about this, see if this book was available on Amazon. I could add it in down below. Yeah, we got New Joys of... I actually really like JELLO. Copyright 1990, Kraft General Foods. There you go. So if you love JELLO, this is your week to try all your JELLO creations. That's about all we got for today at Go Cybernaut. However, we do have other holidays. Let's take a look at our Wicca Book of Days. Now, I've linked this book down below, available on Amazon. That's the other way that I create a living or I make a living is whenever you buy a book. So, although I'm not telling you how to, I would be quite grateful if perhaps you buy this book or another. I've got many available. So let's see what we say for February. So I know it's Groundhog Day, even though I haven't mentioned that, but it is. I don't know if the groundhogs. I think here it's going to be overcast. It's snowing, so we do have the Vancouver Island marmot, I do believe. And the sun may come out. Yesterday it snowed in the morning. The sun came out, so it's anybody's guess if the Vancouver Island marmot will see its shadow. If it comes out early, like right around now, it won't. And guess what? Early spring for us. Don't know what's happened there on the east coast of the United States, but we'll have to check in later, I guess, and see if Puxatawny Phil. Actually, why wait? Let's go take a search. Did Phil see his shadow? Did Phil see his shadow? I don't know. Did he see it? Here's his predictions 2 hours ago. He didn't. Oh, last February, he didn't see it. What about this February? Again. Oh, the temperature's in the 20s. He saw his shadow. Oh, guess what? 6 more weeks of winter for you guys out there in Pennsylvania, where I know, I follow my favorite blogger of mine, Elizabeth Veronica, and she lives in Pennsylvania, and she's definitely had her share of winter this year. So I guess you'll be having a little bit more winter out there in Pennsylvania. So that out of the way, Dr. Tawani Phil has seen his shadow. Now, February 2nd, here in the Wicca Book of Days. I don't practice Wicca or anything. I'm just very, very interested in the cultures of the world. So I include this book in my library because it really helps me out. Let's see, February the 2nd. The festival of Candlemas has ancient roots, for in pagan Europe, fires were kindled at this time of the year to reflect and encourage the growing strength of the sun. Its name is Christian, however, being derived from the tradition of the future year's supply of candles being blessed before the first Mass of February 2nd, and then being carried around the church in a procession. Oh, that's why it's Christian. Okay. This is also a feast of the purification of the Virgin Mary and the presentation of the infant Jesus in the temple. The parallels between the Virgin Mary and the goddess in her maiden aspect and the baby Jesus and the solar child of promise are unmistakable. Okay, if that made sense to you, it made more sense to you than it did me. Okay, well, here we go. What can we do for today? As you can see, I have a few candles here. Probably not the right colors though. Okay, well, white represents purity. Pale green denotes a fresh start and growth, and a flame signifies the kindling of creativity. Light candles of these colors to commemorate the concepts symbolized by Candlemas. As you gaze at the flaming taper, ask the goddess for inspiration. Let's see what it's. I do have a link down below to Candlemas. Let's see if I can find it again. Candlemas, because it probably explained it better than I just did in the book here, which is why I added a link. Because, it actually was a link to the Pagan Candlemas. Although I can understand the Christian symbolization too. And I do have my candle lit. I did in this one candle that I have actually changes colors. So perhaps it will do that. Now, why can't I find the link I'm looking for now? This is why. There's a good link down below that explains it. Let me see if I'm not in any rush because I don't believe there's much of an audience here at the moment. If you're coming later, let me know. Well, you know what? I can't find the links that I have down below. Let's see, maybe I can open myself up here and find it. I'm trying to get it together as much as I can, but I'm telling you, this morning I set this all up and then I erased everything. I don't know what I did. I hit back or I hit another link or something. I'm actually trying to look at this where I am right now. So, anyways, Candlemas is also today. We're going to leave it at that because otherwise I'm going to get lost in a tangent here. Let's see what else is new. I put a link down below to Barbara Dane. No, Barbara Dane. She wasn't a singer. She's a folk singer. She wasn't a singer that I really had heard of before. A friend of mine, Tony Visconti, the other day, he saw her singing as a nightclub singer in some old Alfred Hitchcock, the series he had in some episode. He's like, wow, who is this woman? So he ordered her CDs. And yesterday they've arrived. And he had spent 2 days, two CD set, and apparently, like he said, he was in ecstasy. So I thought, well, I need to check out who this woman is. So I've been listening to her music throughout yesterday, and Tony, although he's a friend of mine on Facebook, he's a very significant. When he says, listen to this music, I listen. The reason I do, he's a music producer. And let me tell you some of the people that Tony has produced. He's produced David Bowie, like most of the best of David Bowie, in fact. T-Rex. In fact, I think that famous photo of Mark Bolan on the album, he took that photo. He's also a photographer. The Moody Blues. How about a Badfinger, Paul McCartney, the Strawbs, Thin Lizzy, Boomtown Rats. I mean, this guy knows his music. So if he's telling me, listen to this music, listen to this woman, I did. And, the one thing that I found is her music is really, really relatable to today. Because she was an activist and she marched and, and for civil rights and all that. So, yeah, so that I put a link down below to a playlist of her music to enjoy. Let's see what else did I do yesterday. Oh boy, I'm getting old. I got 96 songs now on my average music playlist, which is also linked down below. And I've been getting some really good responses. Yesterday, a woman contacted me on Twitter, and she's got a whole playlist of music that I've never even heard of that I'm looking forward to. It'll probably take up much of today. Of course, when I'm not playing Geoguessr, which is the next thing, is I have. Well, I started the day with 15 games to play. I got to play 20 in a week. I've got until 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to do. I got 12 left. I've lost 3 today, so it's not a good start to the day. But they were good games. They go on like 10 rounds. I'm really hanging in there. I just, I need to do more practice. I guess it's like everything, you got to practice. It's a sport, it's a sport of the mind and the brain and all that. And, I got out of the habit of doing my daily practice, and you have to get back to that. We'll see how I do. I'm looking forward to talking about now we're talking about favorite vloggers. I'm looking forward to Ants Canada. I haven't watched them this morning. I watched them, been watching him for maybe the last year. He's created these, I don't even know what to call them. He calls them vivariums or something, I guess. And they're like, just think of a huge room-shaped terrarium, and then think of putting another one on top of it for like the treetops and that. And then think about, well, let's add another one on the side we'll put water in there for wetland creatures. So yeah, we're going. He's out of the new section, so I'm looking forward to. I just love his videos. I mean, they really are educational. When I used to do the Science and Nature for Kids site at about.com, I'm telling you, this person would be my guest for sure. If school could be taught the way that he teaches about these ecosystems, it'd be a lot more fun place. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to watching him. I'm going to do that this morning. I will definitely take a break. But I noticed Tanya FM, my other favorite vlogger, she's put a long one up, so I'm looking forward to watching it too. She's been going through a tough time lately with her just getting herself in sync. But I think she's finding her way. I did watch about maybe 20 minutes. It's 45 minutes this morning. And then time to do this and my morning news, which I think I linked the morning news down below. If not, there's a playlist, I'm sure, for it. Yeah, so it's Tanya and it's Canada. I don't know when I have time to play these Geoguessr games. I'm catching up with my favorite vloggers. Finally got into that YouTube for Dummies. I did the first 10 chapters, and basically the first 10 chapters were a repeat of things I already knew. So I guess I'm not as much as a dummy as I thought I was. So I guess now we're going to get into, I think we're getting into the nitty-gritty now, is how to grow an audience, which is really what I need to do right now. And let's see, I did my challenge, what day are we on this? Day 30 of the challenge, where I did fix my lights. Thank goodness. Day 31, I'm going to move. I have similar lights in the living room, which will be moved and organized in this room. Because when my dog had this accident the other day, when he fell and clipped his chin on my desk and got wrapped in my laptop or my Chromebook cord and the Christmas lights and everything went flying, I think they put it into the lights because they no longer work anymore. So I'm going to be moving the lights from one. I'm not a dummy, yeah. Well, I'm getting better. I'm learning better. It's just, oh, by the way, it's snowing here again. I don't know how it's snowing in the South Island. I'm saying if it keeps up like this, our Vancouver Island marmot will not see his shadow. And that means early spring for us. Puxatawny Phil apparently saw his. This guy got bad luck. I was saying earlier that Elizabeth Veronica, the vlogger who I follow, is in Pennsylvania and has been having quite a bit of snow. And there you go, some more snow for them out. But we'll have to wait here. If the sun comes out, on the other hand, and I can see there's not that much, but the sun comes out, on the other hand, up island where the marmot lives, we might be looking at a longer winter. I mean, winter's only just started yesterday. Really, we've had our first little dusting of snow yesterday. But we'll see what our marmot says. I mean, they're endangered. There's not very many of them, so I'm going to pay attention to that. And yeah, I did that. Did the lights. Mostly the reason I got through 10 chapters, I think, of the YouTube book is I had such a couple of years ago, I broke my spine right between the shoulder blades. There was whatever vertebrae that is, I can't remember. And I had this sensation like there was an arrow sticking in my back. So yeah, so I did a lot of bed rest and got through 10 chapters of a book. Oh, Isla says, weird weather yesterday. Like the saying goes, if you blink the weather, that's for sure. The weather will change in a blink. It sure was doing that yesterday. Sure, we were waiting for the snow. Come on. It's beautiful here on Vancouver Island when it snows. We don't have as much of the city to dirty things up. And the snow actually never hangs around long enough for it to get dirty anyways. But yeah, I was looking forward to it. Still looking forward to it. It just changed. Let me open my blinds. You can see it's kind of gray out there right now. A little dust in the snow. Got myself my snowman cup of tea this morning because the stomach's a little bit saying, you don't need anything to upset me anymore. A little bit of indigestion, I guess, yesterday. So I'm going to stick to my. And this is actually good tea. This is Yorkshire tea. It's a treat for me. I guess we have to start buying British or Canadian. There's going to be, politics aside, yeah, it's going to be tough. This whole trade thing. Yeah, I'm going to actually make a. I'm going to own up to something, and it's a family member. It's not me, but I don't know if you remember the old free trade. Remember that free trade thing when Mulroney was in? Well, my cousin Ross actually was responsible for that. He wrote it. Mulroney was his best friend. I mean, for real. I don't know if they maybe even attended. One was like best man at one of the other's wedding. But yeah, my cousin Ross, F. Ross Johnson, who was the American businessman that never gave up his Canadian ship. Yeah, he was responsible for pushing that through. But, it seems like it's forever Canada and the U.S. I mean, we're like bread and butter. We help each other's out. It seems like a real slap. But I'm thinking, this is going to be more encouragement now for the Canadian farmers and the Canadian producers. This is going to be a good thing for us. We've got our own Canadian companies here. You buy toilet paper or paper products, go Scott. We've got, so we got to give up our orange juice. Well, we've got apple juice and fruit juices. We have all kinds of other countries also to maybe forge relationships with, the Swedish make a good planes, and maybe the French. I don't know too much about that, but I think this is an opportunity to make new friends, to support our own producers. And the one thing that I noticed that they were saying here. I mean, I watched first EB for British Columbia, and I love the maybe you can come and talk to us. We're not playing by your games, buddy. But and then I watched Trudeau. The thing that I noticed in both cases is we're talking about, hey, as Canadians or British Columbians, whatever, we're going to support you. We're here to support you. I'm not hearing that coming from our southern I don't know, I want to call him a leader, or that person down south, at the south border, is causing all this disruption between friendships between countries. I'm not seeing it from. And by the way, here's a little tidbit. I knew his cousin. His cousin passed away 2020 February. Oh yeah, so 5 years ago. And yeah, my friends, and I knew him for like 40 years. His father's mother is Donald Trump's mother's sister. Okay. And so he's got to know this family and that. And even he said before, this guy is bad news. He cares about nobody but himself. He is nothing but a troublemaker. So hey, he's going to come here and try to make trouble where his own family's got ties to Canada. Geez. Oh, he doesn't care. Anyways, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how Canadians are going to come together and that, because that's what we do. And I'm not going to turn my back on my American friends. I might have, actually, there isn't any so far that I found that I've disagreed with. Most people that I know, and I've got connections with thousands of people. And I haven't found that one is not one who's really in favor of all this. So I'm wondering, well, how did this election turn out the way it did? I haven't had one person admit that they actually are in favor of any of this stuff. I don't understand it. I wanted to keep this channel politics free, but You know, we're talking about friendship here. We're talking about alliances that have gone back for so long. You know, back to, I think, didn't we win a war against America? Didn't we burn down their White House or something? I don't know. See, I don't follow these politics because that's what Polly, many, ticks, uh, bugs, bad things, parasites, many parasites, politics. Quoting Utah Phillips here. I should put a Utah Phillips link down below all the time. The time I quote him. Also, one that I didn't mention in case you hear the music in the background. It's a little ambient music. I linked down below. Hopefully that it'll stay in and it's not under the copyright and the fact that I've promoted them. But yeah, so it's that was my day. Didn't watch any movies or soap operas. Call the Midwife is on tonight. There's something to look forward to. Just got my my reading in and concerns from my friends down south because I do have some friends. Here we going again, but I do have friends that are going to be personally upset by all this is going on. And for today, I don't even have plans for today. I'll probably 13 games or 12 games of Geoguessr, and maybe I'll keep the Irish playlist going in the background, and I can multitask with that. And building on that, I'm still working on the baseball opening day music playlist. Mind you, I've got 6 weeks. I've got a lot of songs. I was surprised, but I think I will put them like I do my other music playlist, basically in order of when they're released. But I was really surprised about that. And it'll be on to figure out what the next music playlist I'll be creating. Yeah, I might pop around and look at some of the other lives too. I've been sort of trying to pop into. I noticed that Elizabeth Veronica's live right now. She does a thing where she actually does a dot painting mandalas. Well, she chats with everyone. It's so relaxing. But she's got the kids today though, so I'm supposed it'll be a little bit more rambunctious in the house. She's got 5 kids, so between the ages I think 1 and 15. So but she goes on now and then. Somebody will catch her later on in the day. And also, who else? Oh, Boston Brooke. I just seem to always be missing her. She's just the sweetest lady, young lady, in her 30s, and she's just sweet, And I think she has to deal with her share of trolls. This is one thing about not being a young, beautiful woman. Well, maybe I'll have the trolls that come in and call me old and ugly, but that's just silly, right? I think even for a young woman like Brooke, it's silly too. But yeah, I really would like to. I want to meet some of these trolls. The more they stay away, the more interested I am in it. So I am gonna check some more lives and meet some more people. I don't know. Perhaps I'll put my phone on live and we can I can hang out with whoever wants to hang out and watch me play Geoguessr. Because you know what? The Kirsten thing, I think I pretty well got it beat. I'm thinking up, I'm trying to replace certain words. And the words that I use really aren't that bad words. I mean, probably when I was growing up, I thought, as a kid, I thought they were bad words, but I don't know. Maybe it'll help my losing streak go to a winner. My clock has gone slow. I don't know what's happening with it. It's like every hour. It takes 3 hours. I think I need a new clock. I have a nice Hello Kitty clock, but it plays a song on the hour every hour, and I think my neighbor might not like it. I get woken up by Hello Kitty songs. Isla says, I'm just going to watch my paranormal investigations videos today as usual for Sundays. That's a good plan for the day. I'm going to hunker down because it's chilly here. Yeah, I'm just, I don't usually make a plan. I make a list of other things I'd like to accomplish, like where the Geoguessr I kind of have to do. But the other things I just, my life and day can change like that, so you never know. But those were my plans for today. But yeah, today's a good day for sitting back and watching YouTube videos. I'm looking forward now. I love to call up midwife. What are we at, season 15 or something now? And it's just not the subject matter. Yeah, that's all very emotional, but it's like everything about the show, the acting, the production, the legitimate history, the music. It's just the way it pulls the emotion from you when it all comes together. And I was really worried. I had heard that this was going to be last season. There was going to be a Christmas episode, and then it was over. But I know now that it's going to be going at least for one, maybe two more seasons. Oh, come on, babies were born forever. Let's just go up to present days, because it does show we're in the 70s now. And if you go back to their first episodes, which I guess were the late 50s, there's you can really see the evolution of women's health care and child care and poverty and, what life was really like. In the years of midwifery in mid-century UK or London, inner city London. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, so, and of course, I'll get my soap operas back. EastEnders, I know we're gearing up for the 40th anniversary, so storylines are getting pretty darn good. I might just maybe start a chat group for that. Canadians who watch British soaps, but it's getting pretty good. So I'm always looking forward to that. Emmerdale too. Emmerdale's getting not bad as well. Just started watching Coronation Street again. I figure I might as well watch them all if I'm going to be talking about them. Hollyoaks I haven't been able to get back into. I don't know. I guess that's just not as relatable. It seems to be more of a young person's soap opera. Excuse me. Tickle in the throat. Got my news stories out. I'm looking forward to the news stories. The whole thing started out with the last book I read about gaining 5,000 viewers on YouTube, to put something out consistently every day. Doesn't matter what it is, just get something there and put it out. And if you can do it in a theme, all the better. So this whole rhyming news thing started out, well, I'll try this. But now I really look forward to it. And now I'm actually looking into learning how to rap, because why not? It'd be different. Well, there's nobody else doing that. Ida says, I will also watch Call the Midwife too. It really shows how women throughout history didn't have, birth control in the early days. We had many children, many of which died. Oh, I know. Just the recent one of it, I don't know, it was last week or the week before, a mother, she had about 10 kids, of course, came to the doctor, and I guess abortions were just going to be new. We're in 71 or something now. And although that didn't happen, she ended up having a miscarriage and dying. And no sugarcoating here. But at the time, she had a daughter who was ready to give birth. Of course, she had a whole new look about what her mother had gone through, and how this has always been on her shoulders. But yeah, it was surely a lot different when there was no birth control. Some of the families, like most of these families, especially in the East End, you're seeing, many. Well, I had many children. I had 6 children actually, but I'm not in the, but wasn't for the same reasons, I guess. But it just shows, yeah, the whole, and also of how many women in that time were responsible in the, because it was a time of poverty, in East London there. How many were responsible? What they were responsible for? Not only did they have loads of children, but they were responsible for for feeding them and trying to get an income in, and it was quite a different way of life. I know they are do that too, but you're not living in poverty now with just the state of mind that people had about women in those days. But yeah, I love call the midwife. I was ready to go. When I heard that it was going to be over, that was the last season. I was all ready to go start all over at season 1 again. I know they have it in BritBox, but I don't think the new BritBox Canada. I don't think the newest episodes are on. They should be soon. Um, I have a VPN, so I watch it through the BBC, which thankfully I can do that. And besides, have internet security and all that stuff. All that stuff goes along with it. Yeah, so. Well, yeah, I'm trying this new 30-day news challenge, rhyming news challenge. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it is fun, and it helps me not. You know what I found is, I think that my whole answer to being on live, that or even online, is just not taking myself too seriously, and I'm pretty good at that because I've always sort of been that eccentric group. I guess it's a neurodiversity or whatever, but for instance, in Vancouver they had SantaCon and Bunarchy, and on those holidays we would all dress up like SantaCon. We're talking hundreds of Santa Clauses, and I don't drink or anything. I just along for the fun. We do the bar crawl and spread cheer, and then come Easter time, we do the same thing as Easter bunnies, and I do miss that. And I had a lot of, I met a lot of really, like-minded friends, and throughout the year we had dress up and be eccentric and be, just not care. And I think maybe my channel is becoming I'm learning the fine art of not giving an F, because that's how I'm feeling. And at first I was a little bit worried about, whether, when is the mud going to start coming? Who's the first going to come and ask me why don't I have any teeth, or do I do meth, or why don't have like the most beautiful face with, I've got blotches and eczema, and I'm not pushing all this makeup stuff and other stuff that I don't want to get into my body and poison my body. Well, why am I not like living to these specifications that YouTubers are held to? And I thank goodness. So thank goodness I found other real YouTubers that inspired me to do this. It's finding the real people that is really say, hey, let's do it. And I'm always looking for them, and I'm always, I pay attention to what's on live, or small YouTubers that are just coming online. I like to meet people. I like to get to know people, and I'm finding more and more. I guess as you find the genuine people, more will come into your feed. It's all part of the algorithm. Isla says, I remember the show about I can't pronounce it. Might and its effects. My mom was given that. She only took 2 doses and felt it wasn't safe and stopped using. Oh, thank God she did. I remember that. I remember that episode. The little girl was so sweet. And in those days, what they did is they left the babies in a box by the window so that they would expire on their own. And this little girl, she wasn't having it. What a sweetheart. And it took a long time, I think it was the father for one of the parents to accept her. I think it was the father, but he did in the end. And I know she was a recurring character as she grew. It came back, to for the vaccination or the baby health days that they had and that. Yeah, that was a very, very sad thing of our time. Really, yeah. The father was frightened. He didn't know. Um, I guess it's that whole fear of the unknown again. And I guess he was frightened for the judgment and that would be coming upon them. Frightened for her and what she was going to face or having. There's a lot of questions in those days. But yeah, to think. I know there's an artist in Britain, a woman artist. I think she's a sculptor. I'm not sure. And I remember her from a show. It's called Child Our Times, and it was this is 22 years ago, I guess. It was a show on the BBC where they were going to chart year by year these babies born in 2000 as they went. And she was a parent of one of the babies. Yeah, she's quite a well-known artist in UK. Unfortunately, when her son was about 16, he committed suicide. He ended his life, which was sad. And I can't remember. Let's see. I'm going to have to pronounce that. The middle. I don't even know. How did you even know how to pronounce it? I'm just going to do. Yeah, she's quite a well-known artist in that country. I gosh, I remember Thal. Whoa. Mill. Boy, why do they have such hard names? It's just Samuel. Yeah, that's the way it was back then. Thalidomide. It's a hard one. The mill. The mill, not mill. The mill. This is going to take me forever. Anyways, if you want to search for the artist, I can't remember her name. But yeah, so yeah, she traveled all over the world with her son, and she did have a nanny help her. But that was one of the sad things, about I guess with the 1950s, and I guess a lot of pharmaceuticals were, that was the age of the pharmaceuticals. Although I'm sure, we're still coming out with new pharmaceuticals for reasons or whatever. I guess that's one of the ones we learned from our mistakes. Yeah, I remember that. She was such a sweet little girl. I can't remember what her name was, but yeah, I go back. And the other thing that I like is I noticed, I do watch a lot of BBC shows, especially EastEnders. So I do see former EastEnders stars and ones that are now that before they were now as guest stars on the show. Like for instance, Fred, the husband of the mayor, the woman mayor who owns the store. He was Minty on EastEnders. He worked in the garage. One of my favorite characters of all time. But yeah, I've seen his son with the Down syndrome on the show. His father was Dirty Dan on EastEnders, one of the most famous characters of all. Yeah, so there's a lot of ties to EastEnders there. I kind of like that too. I see a lot of familiar faces. Yeah. But yeah, it's just so well done. It's everything about the show. I don't know how many BAFTAs. There was one BAFTAs or Pride of Britain Awards, whatever. But I'm telling you, it should be won every year. Thinking about going to watch. They've got the whole series of Peaky Blinders on there, and I haven't watched that yet. My husband has. He quite likes it. I have a friend named Emmett who's from Ireland, and he's in a few of the episodes. So I always say, I should watch it because I like to, you like to support your friends, and so maybe I'll take a look at that. The Peaky Blinders. I just hope it's not a little too violent. I'm sure it is, but there's another historical drama. I don't know if it was a BBC. It must be a BBC production if it's on the BBC. Well, this is what happens when you're you're an older shut-in, you get to know these shows pretty good. But hey, I love television. What can I say? I don't know. The thing is, though, I love television, but I have a really hard time with like watching American television. It seems so much of it is so scripted and just not relatable. Maybe not relatable to me. I mean, like comedies and things like that you don't take seriously. Yeah, I like the odd comedy. I'm not a big fan of comedies. I'm more like documentaries and when I like soap operas. So comparing the British soap opera with the American soap opera is if there even is any more American soap operas, I don't know. Do they have them still? Yeah, there's quite a difference in relatability and reality. I mean, I could never really follow them. Well, back in the day, probably in the 80s, I think I watched General Hospital and All My Children. But that's because I lived in Toronto in an apartment building, and a huge apartment building. There's like 3,000 people in this place. But our entire floor would get together and go to one woman's place to have coffee in the afternoon and watch General Hospital and All My Children. And it's just a thing we did. It's funny because we had one fellow. It was all women pretty well, and one man, and I don't remember his name, Billy. And he actually worked the night shift so that he could come and have coffee and tea and watch General Hospital and All My Children with us. But yeah, and then I moved to Vancouver, and I didn't have anybody to watch General Hospital and All My Children with, so I quit. Just stopped watching it. So there was more for I think for the community. But yeah, I don't know as far as American shows. I couldn't even. On any new show, I couldn't even name one that I followed. Not even documentaries, to tell you the truth. Sort of given up on American television. I guess like I'm gonna have to give up on a lot of American products. I know I did. The coffee that I do order is from Canada. So thank goodness for that. I'm gonna have to check my Boost. The Boost probably isn't, even though I'm getting it from Amazon Canada. And that's my major food, so I don't know if I can give that up. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure I can find Canadian alternatives for anything. Up until just a couple of years ago, my husband worked on a farm just south of here, Duding's Berry Farm, and they have berries and Brussels sprouts and cabbage and all that stuff. So we'll be support. I think he's probably retired, maybe retired now. But we have plenty of farms right around here, and I'll be supporting those. And it sounds like our government is ready to support Canadians and Canadian producers, Canadians that may lose their jobs because of this, and hopefully Canadian farmers. I mean, more important than ever are our food producers. I don't know if it was Evie that said about our, all along our borders, we've got greenhouses, and down south they actually depend on our vegetables, so they won't be getting our vegetables, and they won't be getting Mexico's avocados. And come to think of it, the most of the vegetables that we get, aren't they, and strawberries from like the Sacramento Valley in Southern California, I think we could probably get those from Mexico then. Like I'm saying, is we're going to be having new relationships with other countries, and maybe this is a good thing. I don't think it's ever a good thing to put all your eggs in one basket, It's just that we've had, it's snowing there. See, it's moving. I think what's happening, it's moving from me down to you. You seem to get it about an hour after me. I'll be sending you the weather report through the day, by the way. Oh, I've got a pair of mourning doves that are making a nest in my little tree. This tree right out here. And I was so worried the other day because when they came to top the trees, I was worried about two things. I was worried about my hummingbirds, and I was worrying about these mourning doves. Because I think it's really sweet to have them come and live in come and live in my tree. I'm not allowed to have. have bird feed. I used to have bird feeders because we have lots of little wrens and of course, all the sparrows and the juncos. I mean, when I was in Richmond, we lived in the farm. We were directly across the river from the Rifle Bird Sanctuary, so we had everything. And we were allowed when we first moved here to have bird feeders, and then it was taken over by another company. And I can understand, they can understand. I can't. I've never seen a rodent here, to tell you the truth, never. But I can see how they say it could attract them. But I had a woodpecker too that came every year that I fed, and he's come back and I can't feed him. What about a suet block? I wish we could have a suet. But if I do something like that, then everybody figures they're gonna be able to. But yeah, we've got these mourning doves in the tree. I've got my hummingbird. I'm allowed to have a hummingbird feeder. That would have been gloves off. Because these hummingbirds, I'd be feeding, and it's the same hummingbird for probably 4 years. Let's see, can you see them? No. I've been feeding the same hummingbird for quite a few years. There, he'll come. And he depends on me, I mean, if the feeder gets low, he's at this window. He's chirping right here. Let me know to come and fill it up. Hopefully it's not frozen. Are you frozen? Oh, it looks fine. Yeah, so I've got my two humming. There he is. Can you see him? Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Oh, he's talking to me. I don't know if you can hear him. Hey, buddy. On demand. I have no, not only can I call the eagles, I can call the hummingbirds too. Hey, baby. I can see him. He's swimming around with the plant. I don't know what he's doing. Okay. Ilises. I've noticed the mom and dad seagulls are back, who nest on the roof behind my building every year. My brother Stephen used to love watching the baby seagulls grow up. Oh, he's well, I too. That's a little girl. We call her Bunny and Buddy. She'll be back. Bunny. Let's see if I can move it. I should actually set my phone up. I probably get more hits as a hummingbird, a winter hummingbird feeder than anything. Let's see if he comes or she comes. They both come. I got two feeders. And one will not let the other drink from their feeder. The one that you're seeing there is the female. That's Bunny's, and the boy, his head's all red. His name is Buddy. But you can't see his feeder. His feeder's on the other side of the little hanger there. But yeah, as I said, if I don't have food there, she'll come and tell me, like, better feed it up. So just keep lots of sugar water on hand. Oh, I can hear the starlings. I'm constantly chasing the starlings nest in my lamp. There's a lamp on the telephone pole. And I am they have I'm not a fan of starlings, but I am a baby for birds. And when they have their babies, I'm constantly having an argument with these. There's a crow, and he knows I'm not a happy camper if he's fooling around in there. But now it's really funny because I would go like this to him now, and now when he'll sit up there on the lamppost, over the other way. Hello, buddy. I just heard him buzz me. He'll sit on the lamppost, and when I shake my hands, he'll go. Otherwise, you don't scare me. I know that you're pretending you're throwing things at me, but again, come on, Bunny. I am the hummingbird whisperer. We had hummingbirds in Richmond, and we had a little back porch. And one day, one got in there and couldn't get out. And I had to catch her in my hands. You cannot believe what it feels like to have a hummingbird in your hand. It's like you're holding nothing. Oh, well, people are starting to stir here in Nanaimo for their morning day. Probably out to get coffee and then yoga. Come on, buddy. No, I want her to come and give us a show. Yeah, so I'll probably be watching hummingbirds today. Yeah, you hear all the birds waking up. Oh, that car sounds like it's having a hard time. Something seems to be dragging under that car. Oh, sweater up. Brisk. It's brisk. Yeah, we're all waking up, and depending whether the clouds have cleared up there up island, I don't know if the Vancouver Island marmot has seen a shadow or not. We can hear the birds. We've got seagulls and starlings. The odd eagle might come out too. I've been watching for the raven. Geez, between you and Granny, I'm like, I'm expecting a raven to come and sit up here on this post and say, "Hey, I heard about you three the other day in your triangle vortex of energy." Yeah. Isla says, I always have birds visit my kitchen window. Once I had a young raven visit me. Oh, I can hear the birds singing there. It sounds so nice. Oh, yeah, it does. I mean, I'm right next door to Bowen Park, which is, it's just full of birds. So it's really, really nice. You never know what's going to come out. Often, every time I go sit in the bus stop, eagle will come and circle around me and then sit in the tree behind me. So I have a little talk with them and say, "Oh, I know your cousin's over there. I bet you, the eagles that I had in Richmond." Which I'm surprised I haven't asked my son to go check them out. Yeah. Little birdies. But yeah, if we still had the feeder up, we'd be having lots of birds around here. But you got to go by the rules. When you're paying this amount of rent, you're not going to get yourself evicted over something like feeding the birds. Even though we did try to argue the fact that it wasn't a grandfathered in, it wasn't in our original lease, But yeah, you got to pick your battles. Besides, my next door neighbor, right this way. My next door neighbor has a secret feeder down low. There's a little suet thing. He was not going to give it up. Well, hello, Mr. Starling. Starlings are great mimics, Speaking of mimics, we had a crow in Richmond, and we had our three big dogs, and I guess when we went out and that, they would all go up the center of the couch with their heads up on the window and bark. And we actually had a crow that learned how to bark, and he would sit in the window. He would sit and we'd look out the window and he'd bark back at them. It was funny. I do have a video, I think, on YouTube, Facebook about that. It might even be on YouTube because I say he's got to. Oh my gosh! This crow just turned. Oh my god! I don't know if you can see it. Oh, you can't. Can you see? There's a light out there. You see the crow sitting on that light? He just turned that light off and on. I don't know what that was about. Maybe Arthur's out there. But he's the one I'm telling you about. I'm going to shake my head. No, he went that time. He turned that light off and on. He landed on it, honestly. That was weird. He's the one. Maybe he's not the one because when I shook my finger, he left. Where are you, little Hamir? You're a liar out of me. Oh. Well, as you see, I can get easily distracted. Oh, he's going to bring his friends back now. Don't get the crows angry because they'll do that. They'll bring their friends back. I don't think that was the original one that sat there. Because usually he would flap his wings at me. He wouldn't fly off. No. Oh, here they come. Now I'm in trouble. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. I was just making a point. I wonder what's going on there. Well, he's bought his friends over. I'm in trouble now. I'm telling you. Excuse me for 1 second. My TV turned off, and so did my calming music. I think the crows are down there discussing me right now. Oh boy, the boy's a little. I mean, Peter, I saw his little feeder. Can't see it here now. It's almost empty. He's drinking a lot more than his wife there. Oh, Isla says, "Oh, a woman in the States had a goat who sounded like a person screaming. Oh no!" And a neighbor called the cops, and the cops realized it was the goat. Oh. I got a story time for you about that. When I lived in Hilo, Hawaii, and I don't know how I didn't wake my husband up, but I was watching TV one night, and I guess I rolled over on the remote control and turned the volume up, and there was a shot. I don't know how it didn't wake me up, but I guess it sounds like people fighting and screaming, and that. Next thing I hear, "Ma'am," knock on the door, "Ma'am." It was the police. Someone had called the police over. They thought there was some kind of horrible thing going on in my house. But yeah, that was pretty funny. I had just rolled over on the remote, so yeah, we had a pretty good laugh over that, him and I. But I don't know. I must have been pretty tired. Yeah. You don't want to be seeing wake up in the middle of the night and seeing the police at your door. Ooh, birds are starting to wake up now. A little bit I hope they're talking about the snowing on me. Let me take a peek at what's going on down there. Sometimes I'll have an eagle in a tree, and they'll. Nope, it's just morning. Our neighbors used to have a rooster until someone complained. I kind of like the sound of a rooster in the morning. Every morning, and I do get up early, and I would really find comfort in hearing this rooster crow. You know, the secret feeder next door is doing its job. Oh, wait a minute. You can hear the hummingbird. Let's see. I can hear him. He's clicking. You should have seen what we did before. These little hummingbird feeders are good because we can bring them in. We had a big one before, and we had a big sock over it, and we're constantly trying to keep it warm. And of course, we're having more of a winter. This was a couple of years ago, and we ended up putting it right close to the apartment by the window, a little tree there. And Bunny would hang out all day. And I think she really appreciated that. But, I don't know. It's important to keep these little guys alive in the winter. Who has hummingbirds, in Canada in the winter? I have quite a few videos. Actually, I probably maybe I even have videos on here. I'm not sure. But I know on Facebook I do of Bunny that year. Yeah, I love the sound. Isla says, I love the sound of a rooster too. They're good protectors of the property and not afraid of anything. That's for sure. Yeah, I miss it. And it's sort of across the street and down a couple, and it was just a comforting thing. And I belong to the local block watch group, And we're on Facebook too. And I can remember somebody coming in there so angry. You're not allowed to have roosters. You could have chickens. But I'm like, oh my gosh, really? You're gonna make such a big deal about a rooster, But yeah, I haven't heard it since last year, I guess. So obviously they won their fight against it. There's some people argue about the silliest things, They get worried about really things that don't matter. Really don't matter, But I guess that's why I only get involved to a certain point. Well, I can hear him. Hey, buddy. The starlings are awake, and the little ones too. This is exactly how I like Vancouver Island. Quiet and natural, even if I'm in the middle of the city. Well, they're just hopping around their tree. I guess she's not going to come back. She's camera shy again. I guess trying to start snowing again. Here we go. We're starting again. Even though I do see a little blue sky off on the distance, looks like we might be starting again. Miles couldn't be bothered at all. He was out yesterday, but he met a Rottweiler. It's the first big dog he's ever met, and apparently he was not. He was pretty scared. He's like, "Oh, my dad, what's that?" Because most of the dogs that he is are the dogs that are, in our floor basically, which is Panda, which is a Pomeranian. Well, they're all Pomeranian Chihuahua crosses because they all came from the same litter next door to where I live. So they're all, they're all pretty small. And I guess, and the Rottweiler, of course, growled and bared his teeth. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what's this going on? I'll hear him. I hear him. It's okay. Some people walking down the street. Oh, Granny has Elijah. Okay, I'm going to go see it. I'll catch you over there. I want to support her because she's being brave. She's walking through that fear. So we'll walk through it with her. So, everybody, thanks for coming by. We're going over to Euphoric Granny. Maybe we'll see you there.